So we're going to see SemperFi Esports attacking, and I'm going to grab a little bit of an overview right here and see how they're pushing in and see how they're dividing their forces. It looks like Omni's going to put a lot of their eggs in the Bravo basket and have a small force over on Alpha. And oh, the artillery comes down and almost takes them all off of the hill. Omni right now just wiping SemperFi Esports up. We're going to see Fool's Guard, though, making a push, going up against 3 guys right here. We're going to see what he can do.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting to see that boat that you had mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make much of it, but it would have been cool to see somebody stack up into the gunner position there. They probably could have gotten at least 1 or 2 quick kills from that flank, at least shifted over a couple of these other players. But you can tell right now, if you look at the overview, it's just a massive amount of players right now from Omni are sitting up on that high ground. I imagine that's going to be so tough here for SemperFi. They've got to be able to take that first, imagine, before they can push on to any of these points.
And right there, just as you talked about it, we see that boat come in and get a big squad bomb behind the Bravo objective. So Omni's going to have to redirect some of their forces and try to deal with that on that back cap. And SemperFi is also moving in on the beach side from their deployment. So they've got a little bit of a pincher move, but it looks like Omni has wiped out that flanking force. And SemperFi Esports is going to be struggling right here.
Absolutely, and if you look over there towards the top and the high ground, you can see how many of those players it actually sucked down into the bomb sites. Savage is still trying to stay alive here. Oh my god, he's almost been able to take out 2 more. He doesn't end up going down. But yeah, that top side right there with the high ground, they have now got control of it. SemperFi looking like maybe they can make something happen here off of this push. And you know, that strategy with the boat, I like it. I'd like to see them do it more.
Yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a benefit, and if it would have been executed a little bit more like that, and maybe even keep somebody on the gunner, like you said, just to put some serious fire down on them from the back right there, would have been nice to see. They are making a good push, but they're taking so many shots from across the map. Omni doing a good job of spreading their forces out and basically creating a beachhead right here. And also, I love to see our teams use all the assets at their disposal. You know, we see them using the stationary. We see them using those MCOM mortars coming down. And it definitely does damage and softens the enemy team up, even if you don't get kills with it.
Yeah, Ramari there doing a really good job. He got 2 kills there with the boat. He has now abandoned it, but they have a little bit more of a foothold here onto that Bravo side, so only 3 people left for Omni to try and hold this back. So this could possibly be a plan here coming in for SemperFi.
They are moving in quick. I've got Kulix. They are planting the Bravo objective right now, so a good push by them. Oh, Kulix picking up David off of the comm while he was arming it, and they're going to get that comm armed. Now, however, they're almost...
Oh, he did stay alive! If he would have stayed alive just to get the spawn bomb off of him, that would have been so clutch, but he does end up dying.
Yeah, and Omni's going to come in, but it's not over yet. They still have 30 tickets. Oh, and the mortars. They called in the mortars from the Alpha comm, obviously, and landed right on Bravo. It's a good thing this is not one of our hardcore matches, or Omni would have suffered some serious team kills right there.
Yeah, and you know, they got to be a little bit worried there. That's 2 failed pushes that we have seen, good pushes that we have seen onto that B side. Only about 30 tickets left to go for SemperFi right now, and we do see a heavy take starting to pull up. Maybe they can get a push back behind there to rally in, but oh my god, look at the players coming in onto the coast. There are so many of them just flooding into that B site.
Yeah, they're making a heavy push, and it looks to be pretty successful right now. There's only 2 Omni contacts left on the flag. David and Camp Frag, both ace players, and they're also getting some help from Fancy Dandy Horse there. And it looks like they are kind of clearing SemperFi out. They're just getting better position and putting down some more shots. Oh, and we're going to see a knife right there. Camp Frag taking out Nemesis with a solid knife right by the boat. Joker the only one left, but he's going to be picked up by Devotion, and that push on the Bravo objective is going to be shut down once again by Omni. Omni, a very strong team, and we saw this yesterday during the Conquest tournament. They won the Conquest tournament with real similar tactics. You can tell they communicate, they have a plan of attack, they know what they're doing, and they play very smart. They study the maps, and they also study the enemy teams.
Yeah, I feel like right now that the tanker is not really talking to the rest of his teammate. His infantry should be basically flooding around the tank and pushing up with him. And as those infantry players are throwing those rockets at the tank, he is going to kind of soak up that damage. But if you put a wrench behind him and then have about 3 or 4 other infantry players that are around him, they can pick off those guys throwing those rifle rockets. and as well as getting those reps coming in here, but just not too well coordinated there. It does look like they're going to be stopped right at the first point.
They are. They're not going to get any comms. We're going to take a look at the time, and I think we're going to see exactly what you were talking about from Omni. Omni does some real good tank work, and a lot of people, a lot of teams will miss that on large scale as far as having a repair. I mean, that is absolutely key. So the time is going to be 5:19. But yeah, you've got to have your repair guy there. You know, you've got to have him doing his job. And again, Omni, Devotion, Fancy Dandy Horse, Can't Frag, David, and in Drew taking the ace squad for Omni. And as we jump into the scoreboard, SemperFi was just really struggling out of the gate. None of them even broke the double digits there. We've got Slacker, Slendy, Mr. Joker, Nemesis, Honor, and Iction taking the top spots over on that side. On the other side, we've got Ballistic, Zacius, Can't Frag, David, Chaos, and Indrew taking the top spots for Omni. So we're going to see if Omni's guy only has to get at least one comm, but I know these teams are going to play it to the bone. They're going to play it all the way through, and we're going to see how they do.
Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen a little bit more emphasis maybe on that tank as well, using the different loadouts. So he was using the standard loadout right there. And that is good if you're pushing up with your infantry players because you can drop the ammo packs as well as the health. But I would have liked to have seen him using the, what do they call it? Basically, it's the burst fire cannons. It's the one that do the splash damage.
Oh, yeah.
Those are really good. If you turn the tank sideways, that heavy tank sideways, you can have 2 wrenches that sit behind them and basically just go sideways up the coast right there. And the guy on the side gun can just do massive amounts of damage. And you can slowly make your way back up to those MCOMs. But out of the gate, I really don't see any vehicles. Do you see any vehicles coming in here for Omni? I don't.
I do not either, and I did notice that last tank, again, Omni took it out with that stationary, which I absolutely love to see, again, you know. But it looks like SemperFi is taking a play out of Omni's playbook, and they're getting to that high ground really quick and trying to shut them down. And Omni is very, very thinned out right now. They did just get a squad bomb kind of in the middle, and they're making a little bit of a push. I'm going to jump in with David right here. He's one of their good guns, and we're going to follow him for a second as he starts moving kind of up toward Alpha objective.
Yeah, and right here, it's really going to be critical that we see SemperFi here starting to use those medics, making sure that their guys are going to be staying alive there on that front line. And Omni is slowly but surely starting to walk up there towards the top. So this is looking very dangerous. And Omni right now is just looking so damn good. I mean, look at that, pushing in onto that B side. I believe they have wiped everybody but Nemesis out. So he is going to be the lone gunman to try and hold this off.
And he is. He's putting shots down on him. Zacius goes into arm, but he gets dropped from Nemesis with a limpet charge. Or no, an impact grenade, excuse me. And napped the leader of Omni, leading by example and leading the charge into Bravo right here as they're going around the outside. But see, they're playing it smart. I mean, they're right there close to the objective. They could see it, they could smell it, they could almost taste it. But they played it smart and they didn't push right in because I believe they don't think that they're ready to. So they're going to try to clear some more people out before they actually make a move on that.
Right now, look over here to the top side, the high ground. It's Nemesis, the only one really. He's going to try and go for the backside, but he's a recon kit, so he's not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage as those shots are just on. A site is now starting to get planted. This is a really bad spot as both sites are going to go down here.
And that was a super impressive move by Omni right there because they got below the Bravo flag and they didn't start capping it, and you just saw a wave of SF come down from the Alpha objective to the Bravo objective. Omni kept fighting them down there, and that just opened the door for Omni to walk in on that Alpha objective. It was basically a bait and switch. They made them think that they were going for the Bravo objective just to get a big force on the Alpha objective.
And it does look like Omni right here, just slowly but surely picking them off, pushing them back. As we are going to be seeing A going out, B is going to go down as well. So fantastic job there from Omni as they take both of those sites with relative ease and not even using vehicles, which is very surprising. Just using the power of the infantry player as well as a lot of meds. You see a lot of meds in those initial pushes as well.
Yeah, they definitely have the medic kits roll into their favor. And put in work right there. Again, we saw them, they were really strong yesterday during the Conquest tournament, and they're doing a good job today. And again, when we had our Xbox tournament, we ran the rush matches, and this team did what our championship team did over on Xbox as well, which was when they armed the comm, they didn't fall back to cover them. They actually pushed up and put the comm at their back. And it looks as though Snapplefish is going to be rolling with this Sentry kit, so that is definitely going to play to Omni's favor as well.
And it does look like they have, for the most part, pushed him back into spawn. I'm trying to find where SemperFi is going to be spawning in at. All the way into the back. We haven't seen him cross the river just yet, but I think they're just trying to make sure they get all of their players up and alive before they end up making that cross eventually. But we do have a pretty interesting skirmish over here in front of A. Kulex is still going to be up and alive. He's getting pushed basically from both sides. He's able to pick up at least one. Reloading. Can he get the second one? Doesn't look like he is going. Does a Sentry kit actually, as Kulex still is back behind with the medic kit. This guy, oh man, he was causing some trouble, but he does eventually go down. So now if you look over there onto A, they are going to be getting pressure coming in, and well, that was a bit of a whiff there for the mortars, but I think that they should be able to get a plant here, as that was the last guy left alive there for SemperFi.
Yeah, we see Fool's Guard moving up on the low side, but he is not going to get there in time to do anything about it. His best hope is to get a flank, clear him off, and try to get around the other side to get the comm at third back, so they don't have to worry about Omni pushing back up.
I do like what Butter Satisfier is going to be doing over here, is basically sitting back and sniping with the tank. He's using the light tank. I really agree with that. Don't get too aggressive. Well, he's going to prove me wrong here by crossing the river probably. But what he was doing before was just sitting up on the high ground and getting some shots across there. I really like that kind of play. It puts a lot of pressure on him, and it's hard to take down those tanks from afar, especially if they can just duck behind cover again.
Oh, we're going to see a Bayo charge. Slendy comes up in Bayo's Snapplefish with the Sentry kit and takes that strong player off of the field right there with a nice Bayo charge, taking shots all the way in. And SemperFi did manage to disarm Alpha, but at the cost of getting Bravo armed. And you're correct, the Butt Satisfier moving right in with that tank right now, rather than sniping from the backfield. And they're going to have both comms armed right now, and SemperFi is going to be pushed back and struggling to get back up to these objectives.
Yeah, this is a really good spot for these guys. They have pretty much the entire island to themselves. There's really no flanking routes left for SemperFi to try and push on in, and Omni is just slowly but surely taking them down. We do have a little bit of a leak there onto the coast. Potentially going to be coming around, but to be honest, I don't think they'd even be able to make it in time. It's already been planted for so long.
Yeah, I don't think they can get up close. Yeah, Iction is moving up with Savage, and they're doing a good job. But Cup almost wipes him out. Now Savage is going to be in the backfield, and he's going to be in assault, so he may be able to do something against this tank. He is going to botch a grenade throw and not quite get it where it needs to be and start taking some shots. He is damaging the tank, and they definitely need to take that down if they want to win. And he is going to go down from Snapplefish taking him out.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to see the rest of those players that are left up and alive just trying to soak up as much of those kills as possible. They are going to be getting a fresh set of tickets that are going to be coming in for Omni right now, so SemperFi really just needs to focus on getting those bodies down and keeping them down, making sure that the medics aren't able just to revive however they want to. So a slow push is going to be coming out right now for SemperFi. We do have one player way over there on the right-hand side. He's going to be actually an assault, surprisingly enough, trying to get some long-range shots going down. But no recons are going to be sitting up there, and for the time being, the infantry here for SemperFi is just not able to keep up.
We have Slendy up here. He just picked one up with the stationary. Again, I love to see him using the stationary. He is taking shots from a tank, and he doesn't know where it's coming from. He's just gonna not even worry about it and try to get some shots on the enemy pushing their objective as they start arming Bravo really quickly.
Yeah, stationaries are definitely something that is overlooked continuously in competitive as well as in public play. They can be so freaking powerful, and it's just one of those things where you normally wouldn't use it. You're just like, nobody else is going to use it, until you turn around a corner and all of a sudden you get a shell right to the face.
Oh, absolutely, and they're especially devastating toward armor. I mean, if I catch an armor piece and I'm close to a station area, I'll take that every day over the AT rocket gun or the anti grenades, the anti tank grenades, just because it does a good amount of damage, and it does take a little bit of time to reload. But you can seriously soften up a tank with one of those, if not completely take it out with just a couple of shots.
Yeah, especially if it's a light tank. Light tanks are definitely susceptible to it. But at the moment, all of SemperFi is pretty much ganged up around that alpha flag. This is going to be a good hold for them if they can get this initial wave of infantry players dead. We do have one player from SemperFi way up to the top right there. He is a... what is he?
Anti-tank kit.
Vehicle.
He's an anti-tank kit.
So this is interesting here. If he can stay alive, he could do a lot of damage to these infantry players that are going to be rolling up here.
Well, he has a light tank, has a bead on him. Yeah, light tank. The butt satisfier has a bead on him, and is looking to go for the kill. Actually, he's bunkering down in that light tank, and he's getting a repair. I imagine he's repairing himself right now. But they are turtling down on the alpha objective, and we're going to see David move in with a lot of contacts right here. But he is going to go down. He is going to get bayoed by Mr. Joker. And so SF doing a good job of taking out those elite classes when they show up.
It does look like the elite class there. Force SemperFi did get taken down. He was holding them back from that high ground, so he was doing some decent work, but unfortunately no meds, no ammo. He's really limited in what he can do with 1 against 3 or 4 players at a time.
Yeah, and Omni is going to push up, and they're just going to overwhelm SemperFi Esports and take this alpha objective out from under him right here. And start arming it as well.
This is especially going to be difficult here for SemperFi. They have to cross the water, which is always a really, really rough thing to do. You don't have any cover, as well as the fact that it's just weird to move into water when you're trying to fight back. And it does seem like Omni have taken, for the most part, all of the buildings and all of the hard cover that's going to be in here. Plus, you have that light tank still just sniping away into the back. I mean, if the tank isn't getting kills with it, if he's at least getting the shots close, he's going to be able to cause that screen shake. He's going to be able to cause the suppression, and overall, it just disrupts the movement of infantry. Focus on something else. So, really good job there on Omni, and oh my God, it's just a cluster right now there on the tip of the island. SemperFi finally able to get a little bit more of a foothold there, but it doesn't even matter. The bomb is gone, and Omni is going to go ahead and move up to the next phase.
Yeah, that is correct, and they, yeah, you're absolutely right about that tank. Not only does it cause that screen shake, but even if he's not killing people, he's hitting close, he's softening them up, which allows their infantry just to put 1 or 2 bullets into a damaged player, and they're out, you know.
Absolutely. I do like what Nept is doing here with the cavalrymen. So he's not on the horse, but he is using the kit, and you know as well as I do, you have that extra armor and the ammo and med packs. If he sticks with his teammates, he can do a lot of damage, not only helping out his teammates, but also just being able to soak up a lot of damage that's going to be coming his way. So he's probably going to be a really good push centerpiece coming in onto that B site. And you can tell right now, trying to use that gun in placement like we were talking about before, but not able to do the damage he needs to. And yeah, you can see SemperFi just, they didn't have time to set up correctly here, and they have just completely been walked over.
Yeah, they had a lot of contacts still on the back objective right there whenever Omni started pushing up. And you're absolutely right. The cavalry kit is such a powerhouse. It's almost an elite kit in itself as far as kits go. I run the cavalry kit often, and if you can run it well, it can be devastating. Just because you do have that extra armor and the health and the ammo, you know, it's a one-man wrecking ball if you can run it right.
Absolutely. You just, right now, SemperFi is just bottled up all the way in the bottom. Now, they may be able to hold on to this alpha side just because it does kind of force you into that one small little area, and you have to go through those tunnels. So it's not going to be as easy here for Omni to get this last bomb site. But honestly, with the way that their infantry has been, I could definitely see them going through there. A lot of smokes are going to be going down right now, a lot of frags coming in, and and just need to make sure that they keep up with their medics. Now Savage, though, he does have a sentry kit, so we'll be kind of curious to see if he's going to be able to just lock this down. And it's actually the good sentry kit where it just poops out ammo.
Yeah,
with, basically double automaticos.
Yeah, and he comes around the corner and he lays a couple down, picking up another one, getting a squad wipe as he drops ballistic right there. That's what I was just looking at. I was actually on Savage when you started talking about him. I've got him on my camera right now, and he is doing work. And again, this is a defensive game, and we've seen Omni do that. As soon as they arm an objective, they get defensive on it, and right here is the best chance for SemperFi to kind of save some face and say, hey, they didn't run rule us, and hold this objective down right here. I think they could possibly do it because the lanes are so narrow as long as they play it smart. But again, we saw Omni. They obviously have tactics. They have guys loaded out with smoke, ready to make these pushes. You know, they're winging grenades down there, trying to soften them up, trying to make them at least run away from the lane so it's not fully covered. And they're doing a good job.
Absolutely. And, you know, they're getting a little bit too aggressive here, I think. They're starting to push out from the tunnels themselves, leaving them a little bit vulnerable, so we'll see if they're going to be able to hold off. And no, it does look like they did get down into the alpha site, so yeah, Omni able to push on down. Now it's going to be if SemperFi can actually retake this bomb. And to be completely honest, that is going to be a very tough order right here, as it is looking like all blue down inside the bomb area.
Napt come in with a solid hatchet and took out that sentry kit, which was causing some damage. We've got a flank though. Oh, but he's going to go down. Honor getting picked up by, I missed who dropped him, but Honor got picked up. He was on a nice little flank, but he got dropped there. And it does look like Omni is about to close this out.
It is just dead bodies everywhere right outside of that alpha
flag.
Yeah,
there is. I see him.
Picking them up.
For
Omni, but just not enough there. SemperFi getting pretty much walked on there on some of those sites. They did have some glimmers of hope every now and then, but you know, Omni, their infantry players were just fantastic, especially at that first point, and they pretty much put them on their heels, and there was nothing they could do at that time. So yeah, fantastic job there from Omni. Really good infantry players. And you know, SemperFi, few little tweaks here and there. I think that they had sort of the right idea when they were on the attacking round. They just weren't quite communicating, it didn't feel like.
Yeah, they definitely need to get some new tactics down and decide how they want to approach us forward as they move forward. And we're hoping to get, you know, some more PC teams in here. Hopefully, give Omni a run for their money as far as large scale goes. What we're going to do right now, though, is we are going to do a giveaway.